give a lot of credit, is Steve Blackman for Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.
Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com, wrapping up our coverage of the Arnold Classic weekend here in Columbus, Ohio. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. I'm standing here with Miloš the Mind Šarčev, Giles the Tiger Thomas with his new suit. I know you guys have been hearing a lot about the new suit. You know, the contest is important, but this is equally important. So anyway, the show did not really go any different than what we thought after judging. No really major surprises, although we didn't know how it was going to turn out. But let's go down the list here. 6th place, Lionel Baeki. That's pretty much where I had him. Where did you have him, Miloš?
Well, actually, I had him 5th, and I would say about Lionel, for me, he was a complete standout. For me, he has the best physique out there, really.
Yeah, he does.
And I keep saying this to Lionel, he could be Mr. Olympia if he really puts it together. He's always good from the front, legs are separated, but that back is never up to match. Structurally, I think he is the best. He has the smallest waist, greatest V-taper. You know, he has that potential, but for whatever reason, he never really, brings it completely. I think he was, a bit better than Steve, but Steve Kuchla, he is the best in a long time, so deserving to be in the top 6. I would just switch the places.
I was looking all over social media today, and people are suggesting Lionel should work with you.
I would love to work with. At one time he did ask me, but I was too busy at the time. I wish I didn't, because I think he would be a top player by now already. Yeah. So Lionel, if you're listening, I'm available.
I hope you're listening, Lionel. Giles, 6th and 5th, Lionel and Kuklo. Is that how you had it?
No. It's the only one I didn't agree with. I had it the other way around. Okay. That's the only one I didn't agree with. Lionel, for me, exactly what Miloš said. He is like, he's got the structure of a Mr. Olympia. Beautiful aesthetics. I mean, just from the front when he was the first one out in the judging. I mean, to be honest, he actually blew my mind. Yeah. He's always been good. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even remember him last year. Like, it kind of just, it wasn't a memorable year for him. But to come back like that, looking so good, like I said. But I take back what I said at the judging about the glutes and hams. I think people are being, I said people are being too harsh. Yeah. When he was in the top 6 being compared, then it kind of was highlighted from in the rear shots from the glutes down. He is lacking. He is lacking from the front and the side, fine, but from the back, yeah, that is a weakness for him. And I think that could have cost him, I think, 2 placings today.
4th place, Rolly Winkler, enormous man, biggest I've ever seen him, I think. But the quality, I didn't see it as there. What do you think about Rolly today?
This is an old story about Rolly. I mean, everybody knows his potential. He's the biggest guy, freakiest guy, but his conditioning is always like just a tad off. So he brought it by the end of the last year, and he won one of the shows with somewhat better condition, but far away from being spectacular. That one-of-a-kind, super dry, super lean look. He brought it first time he won a IBB Pro show, so he's capable of. If you remember, he was reminiscent to Dexter. There was cross-striations all over the place, deep abs, separated legs. I don't know. He's putting so much muscle mass. Maybe he is blunting that separation. But for me, he was clearly 4th. No higher than that. Before the show, I was thinking by seeing some pictures that he can potentially even win on just that freakiness alone, because he would bring the most size.
In your opinion, was he better? Would he be better off staying a little smaller like he was a few years ago, or do you think he made the right decision putting all this extra size on?
Because let's say for many years, IBB bodybuilding was about size. Starting from Ronnie beating everybody, Jay, Dorian, before him. Yep. So that was it. Now switching to feel heat, it was that little bit contradiction. They were going with the symmetrical aesthetic Mr. Olympia, but all the other shows still mass was actually winning.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Steve previously, like what is really going in consideration for the judges? One aspect is size, then is aesthetics, then is conditioning, right? Yeah. So from aspect of size, he was a winner, right?
Yeah.
Conditioning was not that far off. Aesthetic is just not up to, let's say, Dexter Jackson or Lionel. Yeah. But, really, you have to, dissect what is really the most important. They always say, okay, the best man wins, like combination of. But I would like to really to see this distinction. If a good guy is not conditioned, he should not place. Yeah. So conditioning should always be number one in my opinion.
Okay. Now, you were a little bit critical of Rolly, and you're a Rolly fan. You like Rolly. You're actually, I would even consider you a friend of Rolly's. But you were very critical of him today. Let's hear it.
It's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big. It's as simple as that. I mean, I've got 15, 20 pounds less in my head, but he's kind of continually got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I feel like the bigger he gets, the more quality he loses. Yeah. I mean, like I said, he didn't have much body fat on him, but the muscle looks spongy, it looks soft, and I want to, I mean, imagine someone with that kind of silhouette and that kind of mass, or even 15, 20 pounds less, but with the detail he had maybe when he won the New York Pro in 2010. Yeah. That, to me, I think would be like an Arnold Classic winner. I could have had him, I would have maybe had him in fifth. Yeah. I mean, for me, when he was stood next to Biecki, my eyes were drawn to Biecki more. Certainly from the front, nicer structure, smaller waist and stuff. But I mean, he is the biggest super freak in the sport right now. For me, he's a bigger freak than Ramy. Yeah. And when he walked past me in the pose down, I could see his skin was thick. He wasn't shredded. I mean, I just think. No more size, and I think he maybe needs to, I would think even 10, 15 pounds less, I think would transform him with more detail. He would just look absolutely even more insane than he did tonight, but in a better way.
Pretty much the same thing you could say about Ramy. If these guys with the size and the freaky muscle mass, the hanging muscle they have, if they had that detail, Phil Heath would be in trouble. But they don't, so Phil's cool for now. Okay, so.
Just to add on this, so you see, Giles is going on the aspect of aesthetics. He likes aesthetics and value much more than muscle mass. Yeah. Of course, how can you tell bodybuilder, okay, lose 15, 20 pounds? You work so hard for it. I mean, Dorian was a freak. Then here comes Ronnie, big all-running size. Yeah, so it's like I know that I will not give advice to Rolly to lose any muscle, but to refine it. And there is a way. I mean, I've been talking about. We talked already. You've seen Hidetaka Magishi. Of course, he wasn't top 6, today. But let's say in the pre-judging, I saw him. Maybe I'm biased, but I saw him as the most conditioned guy on the stage. Yeah. And he brought all these striations, and he was not so striated. The type of training that you can imply could change your physique. So I saw Badr Badai today. I suggested maybe we can do some seminar over there. I would like to see big guys like Rolly and Ramy, try the system of training that I'm doing. I can guarantee you in a matter of a few months they can change. Yeah. Yes.
And I think if those guys, like I just said, if they could change their physiques and just get that quality, the detail, the striations, Phil Heath would be in trouble. All right.
I think so too.
So we knew it was going to come down to William Bonac and Dexter Jackson. We didn't know quite what was going to happen, who was going to win. In your mind, why did it go Bonac's way? Why did they choose Bonac?
Let's not forget Cedric. He was third.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cedric.
Don't forget Cedric.
haven't eaten in a while. Yeah, let's. Yes. Sorry, man. Sorry, Cedric. My bad. Yeah. Cedric McMillan.
Cedric McMillan, for me, again, is a guy that could have won the show hands down if he was in top condition. He has the combination of what I'm saying of size, symmetry, proportions, aesthetics, and conditioning. So conditioning was missing. I mean, he was fairly conditioned, but not spectacularly. He has the best physique out there. He is aesthetic freak. So he has those proportions that you would kill for. Round muscle bellies. He flows through the poses. He's master of that. I mean, for me, if he would be super conditioned, he would be untouchable. Sorry, Dexter. Sorry, Bonac. Yeah, I mean. Those two guys beat him fair and square today, but he could take them over.
Okay. Now, I know you're a Cedric fan. Were you pleased with him today or not?
I was pleased with him today. I actually thought he was better than San Marino because I was in San Marino. The thing is with Cedric, it's like he had areas like his glutes and hams, which have always been problem areas. And today they were actually the best they've ever been, but there was other areas that were, it's like his conditioning, it kind of goes to certain, it shifts.
Migrates.
Yeah, I mean, he's like soft here, but then he's shredded here, and I mean, maybe it'll be the other way around the next time, you know. But I was so pleased he got third. I was thinking, oh, please don't give him fifth or sixth, because he does, like, you know, Miloš, I think we think the same way about aesthetics, and, you know, he is like kind of like guys like him and Bob Biaki, they do kind of have that perfect structure, that like Herculean type, wide shoulders, small waist. They're kind of like, and because they're so tall, they take, you know, they've got such an amazing presence. So for Cedric to get third, I was absolutely thrilled, and I think he seemed okay with that, you know? I didn't see him as being like a threat for the top two. I thought the top two were quite clear. But yeah, I mean, Cedric, I think it was brave coming into the show after a very, very tough year last year, doing all those shows, winning the Arnold, you know, and doing, you know, San Marino, the Olympia. I mean, the guy's just been on a constant prep. But yeah, I mean, third place, very happy.
Okay.
But I would still make the point. Cedric, in the same condition, would have a more aesthetic and more size than both Dexter and the Boniek. So yeah, I would say, okay, Dexter aesthetically would be a match, but he would beat him on size. Yeah. So I think that really, if he brings it together with all three equally developed qualities, he would win.
Okay. So back to what I was saying before I completely forgot about Cedric. So, Bonac and Dexter, I thought they were very evenly matched. You know, two different physiques, similar in some ways, different in other ways. I thought Bonac has better legs than Dexter, much fuller, more fullness and sweep to the thighs. Dexter doesn't always control his midsection, but they're both phenomenal athletes, tremendous athletes. I didn't know what was going to happen. Did you?
By all means, I predicted that William was going to beat him, even though I like Dexter's physiques better. Dexter was not his usual self. I mean, like I said, his stomach was not being controlled. The legs were not separated in many instances. You know, I was there for first row. I wanted to like scream, but then I said, like, I better not say anything because he's
George was screaming at him. Don't worry.
You know, what are you going to say? I mean, sometimes they actually don't feel the legs, so you scream the legs, and they actually can flex it, so it's not good for them. But Boniek was clearly separated, and all the front poses. Legs alone was all William. Now, size of chest, arms, shoulders of William is like outstanding. So he outclassed Dexter in that department. From the back, Dexter was wider, you know. So rear lat spread was definitely his. Back double biceps also could go to Dexter. But overall, I think there was a slight edge on size and conditioning, you know, in his favor.
Yeah. Now I know you never had any doubt in your mind. It was a Bonac show, correct?
Correct. But you and me went for dinner after the show, and I said, I think this is what's going to happen. I think Bonac peaked. I thought Bonac had peaked for the judging, and I knew that he couldn't get any better than that. But I knew that Dexter could get better for tonight, and that's exactly what happened. For me, at the judging, it was very, very clear. Bonac in front, Dexter clear second. Tonight, I think it was very, very close. I think Dexter had improved, but kind of Bonac, he faded. Like, he definitely faded. Things weren't, because with Bonac, he's got so much detail. It kind of like when he poses in his chest and shoulders, you know, everywhere, it's the separation's there, but it wasn't splintering tonight like it was, say, at the judging. Like as the judging wore on, because he kind of got better as the comparisons went on. But yeah, like it was close tonight, but I still had Bonac winning quite comfortably.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add?
No, I mean, I would just like to see all those guys at their absolute best. Would keep mentioning, like back in the 90s, everybody would come and everybody would be in condition. And here you have a guys like Cedric or Lionel that you just scream for, like, please be in shape. And if they are, you know, it would be a completely different story. I really think that both Lionel and Cedric can win the Mr. Olympia title if they come super shredded, and because they have a size and aesthetics and conditioning. If it would be there, it would be very, very hard for Phil to defend his title.
Yeah. So,
I think a special mention should go to Hide for his conditioning. Yeah. I was very impressed with the way that Hide stepped up from the 212 and, you know, and just took a leap of faith.
So much fuller too.
Yeah, I mean, you said he weighed 212?
No. I'm going to tell you because you guys are familiar. Hide is a good friend of mine, and you know, I told him clearly, you can win 212, and he says, I don't care for winning. I want to challenge myself. I want to go to open division. I don't care. I don't care about my placings and all that stuff. there was like about 3 times, instances that I tried to talk him, and then finally he says, Miloš, don't even try it.
Wow. I thought it's because you want him to move up in body weight.
No. It was not about this. It's just I wanted a challenge because he started as an open. He wanted to go back to open. I mean, he's going to keep improving this year, and we were going for this extreme conditioning, and I think that he showed it this morning, right? Now, even though we carve him up tremendously, like for you guys that follow bodybuilding, you know what is 3,500 grams of carbs in the 2.5 days, and still he was kind of flattish in my opinion.
Wow.
So yeah, after seeing him next to the monsters, I said like, look, you are noticed for your conditioning, so you're best conditioned athlete right now, but let's go for finals, let's just try to put more size, but we overdid a little bit. I don't know if there was a factor. I thought actually that he could have very easily be 7th after prejudging, so I didn't expect that he would be pushed out of top 9. Yeah. But in any way, it's experience, and I'm glad that you mentioned, because of course I work.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Give him all the credit. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and he's not going to stop here.
Do you know what he did weigh, just out of curiosity?
He was about 218, okay. So he was 225 before we depleted and dehydrated. What people don't realize, if I step on the scale 24 hours before prejudging on any given day, it's going to be probably 10, 12, 15 pounds off. Wow. Okay. This is how it is, because really when you dehydrate yourself to that level, you lose that much.
Right,
yeah. And people don't know it. Say, oh yeah, how much you weigh? I'm 255. No, that's a day when you left your house and not here in a hotel or backstage. Right. Yeah, so yeah, he was 217 on the stage. He should be like 225 maybe, to be, super competitive. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And another special mention has to go to that Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
I was so impressed with this guy. That guy is going to be winning. I hope he doesn't just do the Arnold. I hope he does some maybe 4 or 5 more shows just in a row, because I'm telling you, that guy is going to win some pro shows this year. And for me, I mean, everything was popping. That guy has come up so fast. I didn't even spot him. Like I said, but this Arnold, I was so impressed. Yeah. Top 6 next year.
Agreed, yeah. Justin Rodriguez, definitely someone to watch. We're going to be hearing more from him.
Love it.
Okay, so that was the 30th annual Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. We have photo galleries you can check out. We are going to have posing routine videos you can check out. Make sure to look everywhere. We got all that stuff going on the site. You don't need to go anywhere else. It's all here. And it's going to take you a couple days to watch it all, unless you stay up all damn night. So we're going to wrap it up here for MuscularDevelopment.com. Coverage brought to you by High Tech. Thanks to Miloš the Mind Šarčev, Giles Tiger Thomas in his new suit. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.